Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. I need some brightness in this thing. I need to hear what's going on. Okay, so let's see. We got streaks more. We got that. What else did I want to do? I wanted to. I wanted to. Got those two in there, and I need to do that. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna edit this. Okay. What is this? There we go. All right, so it is 8:02. Let's go ahead and see what we got out here on the listing. We got Farm, Tesla. Good morning, Donnell. PLTR, CJET, AMD, Amazon, GTES, SoFi, Arnaz, and Bax. Make this a little bit bigger so we can see everything. Okay, so I did end up trading yesterday on Hoth, and man, traded Hoth. It gave me what I wanted for like a split second. A split second. Oh man, let's jump out here and see what we got. So here is a trade recording from yesterday. And I saw Hoth come down here under the 320s. And I was like, man, Hoth is looking okay. And this 340 level was a level that I was looking for it to return to, right? And I was watching it, and I didn't buy this little move up towards VWAP on this one. It ended up coming back down. It was like right at the beginning of lunchtime. And I was like, I don't know if I want to play that. But after I got back from lunch, I was looking around. I was like, man, this thing is just holding around this 320 level. And I had also looked on the daily chart as well. We'll go back over there and look at that. But let's see what transpired. This is before I took the trade though. So I was getting ready, had my order in 1,000 shares, and I wanted to see it back over 320 for a test back up. So this was my entry at 320 right there. On the dot, you can see it right here, cost share 320. And I was looking for this thing to get going. Being a low float, I was looking for more than 10 cents, but let's watch and see what happens. So we were in at 320, and I'm gonna just speed it up a little bit, and it just hung around here for a little bit, and then it started going, right? Got on up there, got up to 330s. Now this was the 10 cents that I'm usually looking for, right? But I was like, okay, this may be the start of the move. And looking up here on the hour chart, we see my stop out position was right under this green candle that got going, right? And I'm like, man, this thing may be the beginning of the move. I'm just gonna let it play. So I put my stop out here at I think this was the 310, 309-ish level. And I was like, okay, entered at 320, risking 10 cents down. I'm up 10 cents, and I'm up $122 or something right now, and looking for this thing to get a little bit of continuation back up here to the 340s. And so let's continue to play. It gave the 330 very quickly, and then was immediately down right there, the 328s. And kind of played around here, and I was like, what is this thing trying to do? So at this point, I just had my stop in, waiting to see what it wanted to do. And it continued to hold the 320s, continued to hold the 320s, continued to hold the 320s. And I just gave it time. I was like, hey, if it's going to break out, cool. I got my risk managed, 10 cents down. And it's shown me that it can touch the 30s. So there's 10 cents up. And so at this point, I was like, man, this thing's taking some time. But it continued to hold those 20s. right? Continued to hold those 20s, continue to hold the 20s. And I was like, I'm just going to hold it. And if it wants to go, it'll go. And so I got stopped out towards the end of this, right? So it came down 315, hadn't stopped me out yet. Then it stopped me there at the 309s where I got out. So that was $165 on that one. And I was like, man, I want to see this thing back over the 320s. And so I readied up another allotment for, was it the 320s or the 315s? One of those. And I was looking at the hour chart out here, and I was like, this hour chart just got to push down. I don't know if it can get back up there. I'm just going to try it on some smaller size, right? And so on the smaller size, you'll see my entry here at the 310s, right above the $3. So this was another 10-cent risk down to, well, around 10-cent risk down to 3. I was in with 750 shares, looking for it to get back up. And it played around, and it went ahead and stopped me out again. So I ended the day with 217. I thought the loss was bigger than that, but $217 down there. I was giving it some plays, but it just did not want to go for me. And so I just, I was like, okay, cool. If you want to break down to 3, go ahead. Now, if we look over here on the chart for this today on Hoth, at the end of the day, the very end of the day, I was gone by this time. It finally got up here to the 40s, very end of the day. So I was like, it's whatever. If you didn't want to do it at the middle of the day in the power hour, you wasn't going to do it anyway, right? So that was the trade for yesterday. And, it worked for a moment, like just a moment. I wanted to see that full test of the 325s kind of happen. And it happened, came down below the 320s. And when it reclaimed those 20s, I was looking for it to reclaim the 25s and then get on up, right? It did not follow the plan, so I just stopped out. And yeah, so that was a trade from yesterday. Pretty controlled loss, risking the 10 cents for move higher. At least, 2R, 3R, something like that. Because this was an extremely low float stock with a lot of volume. So all it took was one scary short, one big scary short for it to push up. So it's whatever. I would take that trade again with the way that I did it. And that's one thing that I do like about the trades that I take. It's repeatable. It's not something that's sporadic. It's something that I would do again, But yeah, that was the trade from yesterday. Let's get into today's trading though. Today's trading, we are looking over here on TOS. We have Farm, FARM, which is up on a $100 million. So Farmer Brothers to sell direct ship business for $100 million. Okay. Let's actually look into this. Press release, Treehouse Foods to acquire Farm Brothers North Lake, Texas coffee. Oh, my other trade. I'm also in BMR. I forgot to say that. I'm in BMR. I had called out BMR a while back, and I had so I took 2 trades in 2 different accounts. I got a swing account that I took a trade in, and I got a regular like a non-dividend account or something like that. And I took 2 trades on this. The first one I entered around this 280, 285 level. And then the other one I entered down here at 225. So it's at 285 right now. It's well away from the secondary entry down here on the dip. But my thing was this one was directly connected, or the thesis behind this trade was this thing is directly connected to NVIDIA. NVIDIA had been ripping out of the wazoo. And so I was like, okay, if NVIDIA is ripping like this, the sentimental players are going to get some kind of action, right? And so BMR is one of those sentimental plays, and not just a sentimental play, it is in partnership with NVIDIA. So with NVIDIA moving up like it has been, if we go out here to the other chart, 388s, I'm just looking for NVIDIA to hold the 400. It took this big massive run up from the 300 up here to the 387s. I'm looking for NVIDIA just hold the 400, If we look on the daily chart, we can see this huge gap up here, and it's just holding right into this range. It's been over 400, and it looks like it's forming higher and higher lows here. So I'm like, okay, BMR, go to work for me, do your thing, and make me a little bit of money. So that kind of cut into the loss from yesterday because BMR was definitely getting some action. But I'm just going to continue to hold those shares and into the future on those. And I like separating my accounts because it makes so I have a day trading account and I know the T2 rule is coming back, whatever. But I also have two separate accounts for taking those swings and longer term investments now. So I don't have to worry about that money messing with my day trade money, right? So I just separated all of them, and that way it'll make it easier at the end of the year, especially for taxes, to separate all the transactions, whether long term or short term holds. Anyway, back out here to farm. We were going over their news. What's up, Drifter, Lori, Donnell? Yep. Yeah, I was, man, I could not take my eyes off of BMR. I was like, man, BMR is gonna go. I was like, there's no way the sentiment isn't coming to this thing. But anyway, so Texas Coffee Facility, Treehouse Foods to acquire Farmer Brothers North Lake Texas Coffee Facility. Today announced that it has signed a definitive agreement with Farm Brothers Company. They're getting the business for $100 million, subject to customary purchase price adjustments. So what is the purchase price right now then? Or have they even listed the purchase price? 10K. May have to go to BAM SEC to see the actual purchase price. Let's see. 100 million. Let's see what we got out here. Farmer Brother Agreement. So I'm not seeing any purchase price. I may go to BAM SEC to look at the actual documentation here. Okay, yeah. Let me go out there. Okay, so purchase price. Have they put anything out this month? Form 4. Chronological. Owner to owner, chronological. Let's go to chronological. What have they put out today? So this is 607. All right, so Farmer Brothers announced this agreement, blah, blah, blah. Do we have any at the closing? Farmer Brothers will transition the entirety of its DSD production operations to its Portland, Oregon roasting and production facility and will continue existing relationships with third-party roasters for additional capacity. The company's corporate headquarters will remain in North Lake, Texas, where it will continue to lease office space at its current location. Farmer Brothers DSD business sells coffee, tea, spices, and breakfast brunch products through a wholly owned national network of 80 independent branches. Okay, so 5 distribution centers and nearly 240 routes, reaching 4,500 delivery points annually. Following the sale, they expect the annual revenue to be approximately 350 million with vastly improved product margins. Okay, so this is the total that they're expecting annually, 350 million. But do they have any other? Let's look at the 8K. So they really didn't put out a price per se, but they are looking to continue to be profitable, it looks like. We'll see how the market takes that. Let's go to Farm over here. Farm Brothers stock price cut from 1050 or to 1050 from 21, and that was back in 2019. Is that the last news they got on that? What? Okay, that's super old. Let's go to VinViz. It has been quite a while for them to have some actual good news. But I mean, I don't know if this is good news or bad news. They're selling their company, right? They're still going to have some type of equity, but is it something that's like great for the company? I don't know. Got a lot of institutional holdings in there. What is the float? Shares float 15 million. Shares outstanding 20 million, so that makes sense. And then the float is 15 million over here as well. Yep, around 15 million on all of them. Let's go into here and see what they're operating in at on their statistics. They're operating a little bit in the red. Operating cash flow. Let's see. Where are your total revenue? Cost of revenue, gross profit. 2022, 2021, 2020 came back up, and then so 2019, so it's been coming down. 2019, 179. The gross profit has definitely been decreasing. Operating expenses, operating income, normalized income, interest income, total unusual items. So back here in 19, it was a negative 5,000. Okay, and so now they're into the positives in 2022. All right, we'll see what farm has. Number of analysts, average estimate, recommendation trends. Let's look at that. In March, April, June. So in March, buy, and then a little bit of strong buy from one analyst. April, May, buy. So yeah, now they're selling their company, so it's probably going to go and change to either hold or sell. I don't know. We'll see. Other than farm, farm has the most volume on the day. Behind that, it is PLTR and Tesla. Let me brighten this thing up some before I go blind. All right. So where, oh, where can farm go? If we look out here on the daily chart, we can see a obvious level. It came down to this 329 level before. That's a super, I mean, it's almost impossible not to see this, right? Oops. Almost impossible not to see this point right here. So if that is going to be a level that everyone can see, we'll have to see what kind of action happens around this 340-ish. 340, right under the 350. It's at 311 right now though. 350, if we look over here on Street Smart, we can see on the hour chart that looks like about the top that it was hitting in pre-market for some type of resistance there. So we'll see how that ends up holding at that 350 level. And actually I'll make a little bit of a area or a range here and put one at the 340 as well. And we'll see how that ends up holding. Other than that, I don't see any crazy obvious levels there. So we'll see. See what happens around the 340. Let's go ahead and go down here. PLTR, Tesla pushing through this previous level that we were looking at. I was like, okay, I don't know what this thing wants to do. It came up here, tested a little bit lower right at the 200, had a little drop off, and now is back breaking over these previous breaking back into these previous levels above the 220s. CJET, that IPO from the other day, got up to a high of 836 and now is at the 550s, so around somewhere up in here. Whoops. Somewhere up in here. I don't know what will be obvious on this one. It's only got 3 days of trading, so nothing too obvious there. A firm down here as well with what, 2 million shares traded. Yeah, 2 million shares traded here up to the 18. So it had a little bit of a gap up on A firm. Do have a gap down here that was filled. This gap was filled and then it gapped up higher. And looks like we have a gap back here as well, but that one was filled on the way down. So I don't know if that's a obvious gap right there. Remove that. But yeah, 18 is looking like the previous little range back here. If we spread this out, let's go to extend to the left. Extend to the left, extend to the left. What is it crossing? So we can see back here across, we can see this little area right here had a low of 1423, 1586 in there, and 1820 on the extension backwards, and not seeing anything else on the time horizon there. So has a little range that is forming in here between what looks like right below the 20s and the 15 basically. AMD 124. Also, Apple came out with a virtual headset. I don't know if y'all seen that virtual headset, but Apple, I'm surprised it's not up here, being a top trader, because everybody, man, that's all I've been seeing, bro. I hadn't even been looking for it. But let me see, it's AAPL. They made this virtual headset. Let me see what price they're at right now. 179. Had a little gap up from 75. They're not up that much. We'll have to see, I guess. But it's I think the headset is $3,500 for the headset, and they're saying that it can basically allow you to visit a virtual business. So let's say you want to go to Walmart. You don't go to Walmart. You just put the headset on and you're at Walmart walking around looking at whatever's on the shelves or whatever, right? It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But we'll see where that goes. It's the same thing with having to go to a bank or having to, I mean, it's basically anywhere that you would go in the normal world. It's virtualizing that and taking you there, right? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Coinbase, they did get sued. They had a lawsuit. I know that's probably why they're up here. Let me see. Who hit them? I think it was the SEC that hit them. Let's see. I forgot what happened to Coinbase, but they're always getting some kind of lawsuits, man. Kathy Woods, ARK scoops 21 million in Coinbase stock as SEC suit drives sell-off. Yeah, it's definitely driving some sell-off. It was up here at 60, had a gap down here to 50s. Kathy Woods is in love with Coinbase. She always buys that in the dips. Reliable, I see you're in here. I see SoFi is almost $8, man. I wish. I wish, but it's hindsight trading now. It's what, 20 cents away from 8. Amazon up here. What's y'all's news? Amazon Pay adds a firm's pay over time feature. That's why A firm's up. So A firm, Amazon has added A firm to its wait, let me go back. Adds A firm's pay over time feature. So those two are directly connected today. Amazon and A firm. And let's see what else we got. GTES. No news on today. Why is it up? Okay, no, well, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's no news. But I think we're watching everything that we need to today. That's getting the volume. I'm gonna move these top 10 over to Street Smart Edge, and then we're going to get over there and watch this open. We have about 3 minutes to the bell. GTES. And we already have our levels up here for farm. We know there's a major level, the pretty much the only obvious level between the 340s and the 350s. It is still up 58% though. Hoth jumping back up there to 320s. My thing is with my strategy, I'm like, look, once you hit an obvious level, if it is a good level, if it is a low float level or a not a low float level, but an actual support level, you need to go. Don't be hanging around and wondering if and when and all these different questions. You need to get up and go. And that's one of the reasons, it has been a little bit weaker catalyst. The last two that I traded were weaker catalysts. This one was a biopharmaceutical company working on some kind of treatment or whatever. But usually on the news that is bigger, the news that is better, once it gets going, it gets up and it goes. So I took this trade, not really looking for a true breakout, but looking for 10 cents. It showed me 10 cents one time. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to play with you no more. You playing around. Playing around out here. Need you to be serious. Especially it had 90 million shares traded on it. So it definitely had people in it. All right, so we have about 10 seconds to the open, and we're about to get it going. Let's see what happens today. Farm is going to be the top watch. We'll see what it wants to do. 20 million shares down here. Farm popping up there. 313s has a bottom down here of the 295, but that is not an obvious bottom. If we look out here on TOS, we can see where it is in comparison to that level that we said up here. The obvious level of the 340s is kind of just sitting out here right now. Right now in pretty much no man's land. I don't know what the support will be here. Had a previous gap down here at the 260s, maybe. But that has no, I don't think that has any kind of history back here. Nope. So no kind of history right here, but yeah. So not super obvious. So we'll see what happens on this little gap. I mean, it's just a little gap in there too, from the 275s down here to the 250s. But we'll see. Back over to Street Smart Edge. Still up 52%. And I'm watching the scans to see if anything else pops up. Hoth all the way back down there at the open. And this is why pre-market is so hard to trade. It comes out and then, oh, sell orders. It's ready to go down. GT, that one is probably off now. Yep, GTES is off. We got Ford up here now. PLTR, Tesla coming on up. So farm, will it get this push off of the $3 going down? It's only 2 cents away from the $3. And kind of just looking around. So this bottom was 290, and we see this 3, and we know for a fact there is resistance up here. Now, I don't know if the shorts want this to get up here, and so they'll push it up into these levels to short it back down, or what. But we'll see. Can it push up here into this 340 level? This opening candle current range, let me look, average true range is about 26 cents. So let's see. Bottom of this was 292, 315. It's about right. But this is based on the last 8 candles here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need a couple more candles here to get a true average true range in the intraday. The SPY continue to pump up. 428s. We may see some of the higher float, the larger caps get activated today for some continuation upwards. Looks like it wants to get to the 430s. Very strong on the SPY. Nvidia, oh. Keep going, Nvidia. Take me up with you on BMR. I'm gonna continue to add to BMR too. As long as Nvidia keeps on, cranking out, pumping up, yep, I'm gonna keep on adding. Not quick, but I'm just adding little by little, adding to my positions. Keep on going and hold up that 400. SoFi. Anything else? PBR taking a bottom position on the day. Let's see. SoFi. Video. PBR. What is PBR? It's not up much. Hoth. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove Hoth. Farm continue away from the $3. PLTR pumping up. Oh, okay. I was about to say it's tripping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A firm. That's the one I'm missing. A firm. So A firm, Amazon going in today. Let's see. A firm coming down a little bit. What is Apple doing? So I'm wondering if Apple is going up like this, why is A firm not following yet? It's giving a pullback, but it should be in direct sentiment with Apple right now. Or maybe not direct sentiment, but it should be functioning like Apple. going upwards, but it's pulling back for now. Back over here to farm. This thing's coming back up, holding a 3 right here on farm. And we know where the resistance is. So do they want to get it up here to enter some more short is a question. It's only 40 cents away with a low float, so I wouldn't say it's not possible. Coming to the 15-minute, a breakout of the 318s, 320-ish level. On the 15-minute, we'll see what kind of push it wants to do up here. Coming up here, let's see what happens at the 320s. Throwing one up there. Okay, almost in, getting up there. We'll see if we can get up there to the 340s. $0.20 away. It's now back green on the day, up 65%. 28 million shares traded on it. Challenging those 325s right now. Let's look, we see 324s, 10 million shares up there. Just disappeared. 25s. This candle, this 15-minute candle will be closing in 5 minutes. Average true range has went up 28 cents per 15-minute candle since this opening. So holding the previous high 320s multiple times. We'll see how that does for those quick scalpers. 320, another test. Will we see any 19s here? Will it break down that 20? There's a 19. There's a bunch of 19s going through. 18s. Okay. 16s. So breaking back within the body, can it get back over 20 and hold? SoFi, Apple, Amazon, Ford, PBR is off. Reliable had called out CXAI. Go and look at that real quick. CXAI, it got up to 1324. Ooh, very low volume. 436,000 shares there. CJECT continuing downward. That one has lost out on the day. SoFi, Ford coming down, Apple taking a break, Amazon. Wait. A-Firm and Amazon. Why did I say A-Firm and Apple? A-Firm and Amazon was the connection today. A-Firm coming on back to that 1850-ish level. Got 2 minutes left on this first 15-minute candle on the day. So a lot of data that we have gathered to see what up. The SPY is still going up almost to 430s. 429.50, getting a nice push. If we look up here on the daily chart, or over here on TOS at Farm on the daily chart, it reached this, well, almost reached this 330s and found a little bit of resistance, but this top is 330, and we know that there was a big resistance level at the 340s. It's making its way down. For it to go red on a day, it will need to break down to $3. They definitely tried to get it up there to that resistance, but not yet. If it is going to go, not yet. So 8 cents away from being red on the day. NIO. This is a nice hump day. Sometimes we see continuation on hump days. I really don't know what we're going to see today. Not really clear, but I do know the SPY is strong, and so those large caps are definitely taking some of the attention away from the lower or the smaller caps. Tesla's up here, PLTR, and we've seen these are almost kind of like meme stocks now. They get traded so much and they're so volatile. They kind of trade like meme stocks. Okay, so Amazon coming down like that. Is A-Firm gonna follow Amazon? Or is A-Firm gonna continue up? Because A-Firm has that good news. They're gonna be everywhere. Yeah, Donnell says farm is too difficult to determine. Yeah, down under 3 now. Pushing on away. So that was the first 15 minutes of the market there. And so we can kind of see a story being built on the hour chart and on the 15 minute. Let's flip over here to the 4-hour chart and see what this is looking like. So on farm, we can see on the 4-hour chart pushing back into down into these levels. The levels that I saw, it was like a little bit of a gap that I put out here was the 275-ish to the 250s. That was an interesting level, but I don't know what's going to happen down there. It is heading in that direction for Palantir, or yeah, Palantir continuing up on the 4-hour. Very strong move upward. Tesla doing the same thing. All of these higher floats doing the same thing. Whoa, what in the world? A firm killing the game, killing the whole game here. Okay, Ford, Apple. Okay, so I think we're seeing everything that's getting the attention today for the most part. $847. Boy, Amazon is taking a little dip. Way more than I would think in this market, but maybe people are jumping out of Amazon and getting into a firm. I don't know. All right, so we're back up to 3. Continuing to find a little hold point around 3. Now this one is a little bit choppy here in the morning. Looking at this hour chart, we can see that there was definitely some kind of pushback. They did not want it to get up to this level here. And usually, I don't know how I think about this is like, if there's a obvious level, and if the shorts, or if some big money maker wanted to get it up there, they could do it, right? So my question is, why didn't they let it get up there, and how far are they gonna allow it to go down? That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, you resist at that point. Do you have enough money to continue to eat the blows from the longs, or are you just going to hold it down here for, I don't know. There's a lot of ifs and buts and all of this, but you never know until you see it. And there wasn't any real clear points underneath. Let me put those other 2 points up here that we saw, though. I think it was a 275, down at the 275s here, right around this level, which is kind of close. If it does just a little bit of a dip, that thing will be knocked out of there. And then the 250s level. We'll see how that plays out. Does it even want to test these levels down here? And what will the test look like? Will it slip straight through 275 with no resistance and go on to 250? Or will it be like find a wall at 275? We'll see. But definitely heading in that direction with almost 40 million shares on board. PLTR. A firm over 19, now going up to the 20s, looks like. NIO also pushing up. Did NIO have some news on the day? Shares of China shares lower pre-market. I guess, whatever. Doesn't really have any real news. Anyway, everything's unfolding nicely. But I would definitely watch these levels down here, 275 and the 250. The way that I do it, when I'm looking for supports, I'm usually letting the support break down first and then trying to enter. And it also depends on the catalyst. If the catalyst is really good, I will probably start a entry right above, or right in the area above the level, small, and then if it breaks, I'll add a little bit and then look for a wall to form. But yeah, depending on the cat, if it's a weak catalyst, I usually don't do that. Like yesterday with Hoth, I'm looking for it to break. So it broke the 325, and then I got in at the 320, around the 320 level. on its way, kind of confirming the way back up if it wanted to go. Man, NIO is freaking going, isn't it? Down here, oh, that's just 20 cents. Okay, that's not incredible. It's average true range right now is 8 cents per 15-minute candle. So that's definitely going to get bigger. It's calculating all these candles in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's gonna this will be calculated in soon once it closes. It'll probably go up. But looking over here on TOS, we can see that the biggest average true range is AMD right now. No, actually it's Tesla. $1.36 average true range per candle, 15-minute candle. Then AMD, then Apple. And so we'll see how the volume continues to play out on those. And then Farm here continue to play around the $3. Anyway, I'm about to go ahead and get off of here and get ready for this meeting. I'm questioning Farm. I don't know if that's going to be a trader for me today. Um, at those levels, I don't know if I don't know. We'll have to see because those aren't crazy obvious levels. So just like yesterday when I was trading Hawk, the trade that I took on 325 wasn't a crazy obvious level. And then the catalyst was weak. So it's like, you know, just continue down on me. But that 250 would be a small gap fill. I mean, a really small gap fill. How many people would open up? How many people are even using TOS? They could be using some other charting system that looks totally different from this. So if I go over, let me go to my daily chart over here. It looks about the same there on Street Smart Edge, but I mean, you never know what charts. I want something that's like crazy obvious. Like, oh my goodness, this is the spot. Like even this little double bottom here, I didn't see on TOS at 421, or unless I'm blind, or maybe it just doesn't go back that far. Yeah, it just doesn't go back that far, I guess. But I didn't see the secondary one up here at the 380s, right around at 375-ish level. So it was definitely going to be some resistance up there. So different platforms are going to present the data differently, but they cannot excuse blatantly obvious things, right? SoFi, wait, did SoFi get up to 8 there? High of $8 on the dot. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like, and if you enjoy the content, definitely subscribe. Um, yeah, we'll be back on Friday. If I take any other trades, I'll get them recorded and get them up as well. I'm gonna cut the recap of that recording out of this video and try to post it. But yeah, if you're gonna continue trading, definitely be careful. For some reason, Farm just doesn't seem like it wants to make a decision either way yet. But I would definitely continue to watch it throughout the day, but not really try to waste too much time on it. I mean, now it's starting to pop here up to the what, three, it almost got to 325s there, 320s. So yeah, I would definitely continue to watch it, but you know, if you have a strategy to trade it, definitely capitalize, but it could go either way. It's one of those, you know, could take your shoes or could buy you a nice lunch. But yeah, that is it for me today. Where was I? Yep. And as always, I will see y'all in the next one. This week I am red on the week, man. Oh, red on the week. Yeah, so far. I don't know what's gonna happen in like another trade, but we'll see. I only took 2 trades this week on Hoth, and you know, it's one of those things. I let it go and just looking for the next trade. You know, looking for the next opportunity with some better catalysts. But yeah, that's it for me. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.